So here we are. The Tempest by William Shakespeare, Dramatis Personae, and Synopsis. Dramatis Personae is a Latin phrase which means actors in the play. And synopsis, is kind of a summary, and it is always useful to understand a brief summary of, go through the brief summary of any story which you have to analyze later. Obviously, when we go to see a movie, usually we want to know what kind of a movie it is. So for your academic purpose also, it is better to have understand a little summary of what you are going to read. So first we will discuss the Dramatis Personae. This is Prospero. We'll discuss the picture later. Let us first assume that here is an island. The ship is just near the shores of island, and on the island there are only two humans. These are not humans. These two humans are Prospero and Miranda. Miranda is daughter of Prospero. So then let us straight away first go to this side. On board the ship, who are the people on board the ship? This ship belongs to Alonso. This is a representative image. Of course, it is not the real thing. On board the ship are Alonso, his son Ferdinand, his brother Sebastian, and his advisor Gonzalo. Besides them is Antonio. Why I have written the name of Antonio in green just as of Prospero and Miranda? Because Antonio, in fact, is the brother of Prospero. We'll come to know later why Prospero and Miranda are here on the island, why these people are on board the ship. After Antonio, then there are two lords, Adrian and Francisco. These two don't have much of a significant role in the play because they have just a couple of dialogue. After them come the Stefano and Trinculo. After them come Stefano and Trinculo. Stefano is butler of Alonso, cook, or he's quite a drunkard kind of a person. And then Trinculo is a clown, a court jester in the court of Alonso. They are also on board the ship. Then there are, of course, people, mariners and boatswain. Boatswain means boatswain is also mariner, sailor. And then they have above these people their head, who is called master. So Alonso is the king of Naples. He is the king of Naples. Ferdinand is his son. Sebastian is his brother. Gonzalo is the advisor, a senior man. Antonio is brother of Prospero. Adrian and Francisco are lords. They just accompany the king. Stefano is the butler or cook. Trinculo is the jester or a clown. Boatswain, mariner and master, they are helping sail the ship. They, as we know, that they are the crew of the ship. They are the crew of the ship. Crew of the ship. So actually what happened 12 years ago, Antonio, with the help of Alonso, threw out Prospero from his dukedom. Prospero is a Duke of Milan, the rightful Duke of Milan. Miranda's daughter, when she was 3 years old, 12 years ago, now obviously she is 50 now. So 12 years ago, both Prospero and Miranda were thrown out of the dukedom. What is a duke? Duke actually is appointed by the king, and he's not, he is supposed to manage a territory smaller than, just like a governor, you can say. They are not king, they can't perform like a king, but obviously they are all in all, and they are kind of a owner of the territory they have under them. Alonso is the king of Naples. Naples and Milan, they are not very far away. If Italy is kind of a peninsula, and Naples is somewhere here on the seashore, and Milan is further up there in Italy itself. So this is a representative image. I am not expert at cartography. So let us assume that this is Italy and Naples is somewhere here. And 12 years ago, Antonio, with the help of Alonso, threw out Prospero. Let me repeat it again. How could he throw him out? Actually, Prospero was very, very, what you call, studious kind of a person. He developed interest in magic, study of magic and philosophy. So he devoted most of his time in his studies, and he just gave the charge of the management of his dukedom to his brother Antonio. He loved his brother Antonio very much, and he thought that he'll look after the management and will not cheat him. But Antonio was planning his ouster from the dukedom, and finally, with the help of Alonso, Antonio just set this Prospero adrift in the sea on a rotten boat one day, along with Miranda, who was only 3 years that time. Gonzalo is an elderly person, although he is an advisor of Alonso, kind of his servant. Yet he is a very kind-hearted person. He was in charge of all this throwing out of Prospero. Yet what he did, Gonzalo kept some fresh water in the boat. The boat was rotten almost. And Gonzalo also kept the books of Prospero in the boat. And somehow Prospero and Miranda escaped and reached the island. This is the island where they are now. After 12 years, one day Prospero heard that a ship is passing by his island and it belongs to Alonso. Ship was coming from Tunisia. Tunisia is somewhere here. It is in Africa. So African continent is like this. Suppose, this is supposition all. So Tunisia is somewhere here, and from here to here, it is all sea. Alonso got his daughter married to the king of Tunisia, prince or king of Tunisia, whatever. And after marrying his daughter to the prince of Tunisia, he was returning back from Tunisia to his kingdom, back to Naples. And on the route, he had to pass by the island of Prospero, where Prospero. There on the island, there are only two people. Now, Prospero had become quite a good magician, and he had under him a spirit. This is a spirit. This is spirit of air. This is called spirit of air. Because only Prospero could see it. Not even Miranda knew that there is a spirit working under Prospero. So, with the help of this powerful spirit Ariel, invisible spirit Ariel, Prospero caused this tempest. Tempest means a very violent storm. Ariel went there and created a tempest, and Ariel himself was just jumping on the ship like a ball of fire, and these people got very, very scared. And as the ship tilted, they all jumped out of the ship in this shallow water. The plan of Prospero was that through his power of magic, he will influence them and somehow entice, make Ferdinand and Miranda fall in love with each other. Ferdinand and Miranda, if they get married, then Miranda one day will become the queen of Naples. Naples is, of course, bigger than his own dukedom. And Prospero, in the process, also will get back his lost dukedom. So, this is the story, a brief story, synopsis of this play. And Caliban, we haven't been able to discuss Caliban. Caliban is a deformed kind of a creature, deformed creature. And he is offspring of Sycorax. Sycorax was a witch. Caliban is offspring of Sycorax, the witch. There is another country, Algeria, in South Africa, somewhere here, Algeria, not South Africa, African continent, northern area of African continent, Algeria. And this Sycorax belonged to this country. She was such a nasty kind of a creature, that people of Algeria threw her on this island. This island was not inhabited by anyone until Prospero reached there. It was only inhabited by Sycorax. And at the time of Prospero's arrival, Sycorax had died and had given birth to Caliban. And Caliban also now is enslaved by Prospero. So this is the story of everything. Later in the play, we will know whether Prospero will be successful in making Ferdinand and Miranda fall in love, and whether they will get married, and whether Prospero will get back his dukedom of Milan, we'll come to know when we study later. But this is the what you call outline and a synopsis of what you are going to read, and to make you acquainted with the actors of the play, kind of a setting of the play, and how this Tempest happened. At least this will help you in understanding the text when you read it later. That is all for now. All the best.